Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, it's Neverwhere. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it. Today is May the 23rd, and we're going to be talking about Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere. He says Gaiman, I say Gaiman, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how it's said because
I've never heard it said, honestly. I can't think of it.
I've only ever seen it written, and I've never actually heard him say it in any of the interviews.
Yeah, right.
So I have no idea how it's said.
It's just, it comes up in a little, this is Neil Gaiman.
And I'll throw it both ways. I'll be like,
Gaiman.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing Neil Gaiman's work here, and Gaiman is
too, Mother Earth thing, like Gaia.
Gaia, yeah. But that's how it's spelled, so I actually assume that it is Gaiman's.
It's not spelled that way. It's spelled Gaiman. Anyway, whatever. I don't care if I'm wrong. Just somebody help. Right. Anyway,
so we're going to be talking about both the graphic novel and the actual novel.
And he's going to mention the BBC thing.
And before I get into that, let me mention the BBC thing. Before the novel was written, it was a BBC show. Actually, I think it was on BBC Two, but whatever. And what was it? It was like 90 something. I don't remember.
Do you know where this is in the scope of his writings? Is it in the middle, of the beginning, the end?
No, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's in the beginning.
Okay.
I think Neverwhere was one of his first works, especially book form. But I'm not 100% on that, so please don't quote me. Anyways, so the BBC show is, basically, it's kind of all over the place, and the production value is kind of low. And I would recommend reading the novel. In fact, I would recommend reading the novel more than the graphic novel for those of you who were like, but it doesn't have pictures. Bastards.
I would agree just right off the bat. I would agree because the novel allows it more time to really be a nice cohesive.
Right.
The comic does jump a little bit. It's still very entertaining, don't get me wrong. But it's also really fun to really rely on his description.
Yes.
So this is something that we've struggled with too, like writing a novel or doing a comic book or both, or which one comes first.
You're really struggling.
Right now. I'm really struggling whether I want to do more than just like a little like 5-issue comic to whet people's appetite, and then do a book or what. Because I really want to do an illustrated novel, but I don't know how heavily illustrated and whatever. I just really like the elegance of words and description.
And Neil Gaiman is one of the greatest, in my opinion. He's my favorite author, period. And he was actually turned on to me by my cousin Steven, who was always reading his books, and he's like, oh, you got to check this out, you got to check this out. Plus the fact that I think he started off in comics, he
definitely did a bunch of short stories, but
yeah, and he did, and in the comics, he did the 1602 series, which was excellent. Which Marvel 1602. He did obviously the Sandman and the Endless, but anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree he's one of my favorite, but he is very English, so there are some things that I kind of I don't take as personal as somebody who grew up with that would. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Like I think they were talking about in Mirror Mask, and we'll talk about it, like Punch and Judy shows. Like, we didn't grow up with that. I mean, I know what they are. Well, the little sock puppet.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of know what that is, but we didn't have that experience growing up. So there's a little bit of disassociation. But very classy writer, very good with words.
Yeah.
Setting things up and holding enough information from you.
Did you read American Gods? Did I lend that to you? Did you read it?
No.
Oh, well, I should, because that's one of his best works, and it
you
really
said it was
shows.
A quick read, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
And it really shows the scope that Neil Gaiman is capable of in that book. But this is definitely a great feel. He definitely likes to remove people from the normal and kind of push them into a fantastical world. And in this case, it would be London Underground.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? London Below, right? That's what it's called.
I don't know, but I mean, in the book, he talks about the umbrella.
Welcome to London Below. See?
Okay.
London Below.
Well, he talks about the umbrella with the London Underground map on it, and whatever.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, getting back to kind of what you were saying about which one you should write. This is what I want to do, right? I want to write a book that's like this, that's like mostly a novel, but because to me, it's like you read the novel and you have all these things in your head. Like you mentioned the Marquis.
Right.
Yeah. Then when you read this, it's like, hey, cool. Like, oh, that's kind of maybe what he envisioned or whatever. And then
Yeah, I don't think Neil Gaiman actually had a say in the art style here. I mean, I definitely like.
I'm sure you know.
Yeah, he might have had.
Veto power.
But yeah, I don't really like how the characters are drawn. Their style isn't what I read in the book, and the book came first. The BBC show came first, but the book came second. And in the book, you read it and you get these ideas of these characters, especially Croup and Vandemar, Mr. Croup and Mr. Vandemar, who are they're not the main protagonist or antagonist.
Well, they kind of are. I mean, they're the running.
Yeah, they're the running antagonists. But you get a real idea of who they are, especially with the descriptions that Mr. Gaiman puts in here. And when you read it in the graphic novel format, you're like, that's not what I saw. Oh, and the Marquis de Carabas, yeah, he's like this black void. You totally didn't get that. And I didn't see him in this colonial outfit either, because in the book, it talks about him as if, he just slumped into, like he was a pile of rags and it just stood up. And that's what you see.
But at the same time, I think part of that is you not growing up in London, not growing up in England. And
very true.
The history. But I just, I think it is kind of a fun thing to revisit it in the comic way.
Yes.
But yes, I agree that I think that if you just read the comic, you wouldn't get the full effect. I mean, we can always say that, I'm sure, about any book that's turned into a comic or a movie or whatever. But in this case, it's not really that long of a book. I mean, honestly. I mean, the printing is kind of big, It doesn't take that long. It's, 300-something pages? But if you put it in, I don't know, most novels, it'd be 200 plus.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of big print font. Anyway, it's really worth it. If you have any inkling in reading a book, definitely do that first. If not, then you can go for this. It is really fun. The artwork is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I definitely dig the artwork. I really like... I think I mentioned that the Doors style. I do like her,
and it was a little bit longer read than most. Because there's a good amount of text and verbiage.
Yeah, and I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, even I brought up Croup and Vandemar not fitting the part as well in the graphic novel as it does in the actual novel, but they are still drawn very well, and I do
they're cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I do really dig them. You just I guess you have to kind of take it as separate entities with the same story, which is weird.
And I would assume that maybe he looks kind of like Jack the Ripper or something. You know what I mean? Like that kind of. But to me, it always reads like Elvis.
Yeah.
The mutton chops.
The mutton chops.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess we should talk about plot, huh? So basically, the plot is you're following Richard Mayhew, who is from the London above, is what they call just regular London. He's a Scotsman who recently moved. And he's getting married to this woman that he doesn't really like, but he doesn't know that he doesn't like her. And on the way to dinner to see with her to see his or her boss, one of them, and Dor falls out of nowhere. Dor being the main.
I thought it was her dad, but
no, it was Dor Portocullis. Is that the last name?
Oh.
So Dor is seen, and she's all bruised up, and she's asking for help, but no one's really stopping to help her. But Richard sees her, and he's like, I have to help this woman, and I don't know how much I should give away.
He makes a break. He makes a decision, and then he kind of pays for that.
Right.
Decision.
That decision severely affects his entire life.
He has no understanding of what's about to happen.
Right.
That simple act.
Yeah, it's a simple act of kindness that completely changes everything. And so you follow him as he's led into this very odd underworld called London Below, where you have Dor being chased by Croup and Vandemar, and you have the Hunter, and you have this great beast of London, and you have just
he has such a great way, and we're going to talk more about it in Mirror Mask, because there he really has fun with physics, and just the rules are totally different.
Right.
But in this one, the rules are a little different. Like crossing a bridge might be an instant death, or you go into this strange dream world, and it's just kind of on and on and on. So he has this wonderful. It's almost. Again, Mirror Mask, I think, is more of an example of this, but it's almost cliche in a way, but he does it in such a way that it's fresh.
Huh.
I mean, it was all a dream, or you had the power all along, or whatever. That's more, I guess, in Mirror Mask. But
yeah, I guess. But
he just has an elegant way of making things that could seem, let's put it that way, that could seem a little more, done before, whatever.
Well, okay.
As fresh and new.
To put a positive spin on what you're saying.
I'm totally positive.
To put a positive spin on what you're saying, because it does sound kind of, detrimental. Basically, what he does is he takes these ideas and he refreshes them. He makes them his own, his new.
It takes a really skilled writer to do that. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, he is. He is a very skilled writer. I love everything that he's ever written, and you know, if the broad from the Dresden Dolls didn't beat me to it, I probably would have married the guy. So yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on. Now that I feel awkward.
Yeah, they're both a good read, and yeah, I don't know. I guess I still would really urge you to read the book if you have time.
Yeah, I would recommend reading the book first, then going to the graphic novel.
If you haven't been in this world that of Gaiman books, there's so much out there.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. And he ranges everything from children's books like the Graveyard Book and Coraline and I traded my parents for 2 fish or something. What was that one?
No, I haven't. Remember. I haven't read everything. And are there more realistic books that don't have a fantasy edge to them?
In Gaiman's books?
I was just curious because that's the only thing I could say is that as long as you need to have some fun.
Yeah, he definitely throws a lot of
It's not like this
fantasy.
one's about the colonial revival of whatever. It's
I think, but the thing about Gaiman that I love is that
it's fantasy.
It's all fantasy, but it's all grounded.
Yeah,
it all makes
sure.
sense, and he does his research so much. There
are true consequences, which we talk about a lot.
Right. He definitely gives off the true consequences. That's a very good way of saying it. So yeah, I would. Did I already say which one I suggest? I suggest the book.
Yes,
I suggest the book. Several times I suggest the book. The book is better, but the graphic novel is really fun. The artwork is amazing. I do really love it.
I'm sure we'll do Sandman at some point. That's like one of his favorites.
It is. I love the Eternals, or the Endless rather. I love the Endless so much. I love Desire, or not Desire. Desire. I love Desire and her.
I like Desire too.
I like his methods of.
All right, guys. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. Tell us what you think.
Check out our wares on spiderwolf.com. We sell t-shirts, prints, short stories, card games.
More to come. We're going to have some Kickstarter projects. Be sure to
check.
No, we will
be sure to
tell you
about them
when they come out
on
Kickstarter. For our projects. Lots of packages. That are great. You won't be sorry. See ya.
Yes. Oh, that was fun. Lots of projects.
Coming up, the Marvel animes. On today's Duel review, it's Nevermind.
Nevermind?
The album. Let's get to it.
That's not right.
Neverwhere. Quoth the Raven. Neverwhere.
I don't think that's what the Raven said at all. You are misquoting him.
I like Al Pacino in his books.
Yeah. Okay. Al Pacino. Why Al Pacino?
I don't know. Just came to mind.
Now I'm trying to think. I'm like Edgar Allan Poe, and all that pops up is Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. I don't know. What was that sound?
I don't know. And clicking all you. I wrote down a date, but I can't remember if that was this or this. That must have been this.
Well, the book was first.
The BBC show was first.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Weird. I didn't even know that existed. Was it good?
No. I mean, no.
BBC, man. Have you seen the new Sherlock?
No, not yet.
It's freaking amazing.
Yeah, I don't have cable.
I love that show. Oh, sorry.
I might be able to find it online. I hope
not being patronizing, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I didn't remember, I forgot.
No cable.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I forgot.
No, I'm too busy, reading books and...
Hide the other reading.
Yeah, no, I don't read books. I play video games and watch Netflix. That's what I do. Oh, gosh. I hate being sick.
I love it. It's delectable. Drink it in. Actually, I kind of do like it because I can be like, fuck off, I'm sick. My customers will be like, can you help me with my printer? Fuck off, I'm sick. Sorry, no.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, check out Good Omens. That's a great book, Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. If you don't know Terry Pratchett, check out The Discworld. The first one I read is still my favorite, and that's Going Postal, which again was given to me by Stephen Katz, my cousin. And what are you doing? So that one was really good. What are you doing? No squishing the head. Nobody home. Please don't make that noise.